Going back to what you were saying, this goes back to this chart, funny enough, to where I do think Boruto in the movie could have just been not, or he just could have, I don't know, the skill thing, like, I feel like, because you were saying you didn't like him for skill, which is funny because that's a reason that you're supposed to like characters, but I don't know, like, Kamui, what do you think? Should he have been skilled or not been skilled? Because, like, it leads into the fact that, like, a third way through the movie, he isn't skilled, which is the whole reason he's cheating, but he is skilled, which is why he doesn't need to cheat.
Well, he's not cheating because he's not skilled. He's cheating because he didn't put the work in.
Exactly.
So there's a difference there.
In fact, arguably, he didn't put the work in because he's skilled, so he's cheating because he's skilled.
You put it... Yeah, I mean, as a hypothetical, you could have had Boruto just not be skilled, like early Naruto or Rock Lee or whatever, and just have him cheat because he wants his father's attention, but he's not skilled all the same.
Yeah.
And then have a... But I feel like, well, that definitely can work. I feel like people would feel it's too similar to Naruto and Rock Lee. It's like, oh, well, Sasuke, like, well, actually, Boruto, you're secretly a genius in your own way. That's how you mastered the Vanishing Rasengan. You're a genius of jutsu invention. I don't care what they say. People are gonna feel like, oh, it's the same thing. This is something unique, and I think it worked. They had a contrast between, because I like the bet with Naruto and Sasuke, because Boruto is so different from Naruto, as far as Naruto is aware, because Boruto's skilled, he doesn't like to train, blah, blah. But Sasuke's point is, that might be so, but the soul of the shinobi is always the same. He's actually a lot more like you than you realize, blah, blah, blah. So I kind of like that dynamic, which doesn't really work as well if Boruto just straight up is Naruto. Like,
well, no, I think actually he's a lot more like you than you realize. Works better if he's more like Naruto, and Naruto doesn't realize it.
What's Naruto realize in that case? So what's his point? Oh, Boruto likes new clothes, but he's bad.
Okay, so I think this can actually work, assuming you're not including the idea of, like, the child is, like, their own person separate from their parent, because that's, like, what Boruto embodies, especially earlier on, the first, like, 65 episodes. Well, ironically, this first arc. But, actually, I think this can work if he's just not skilled. Why? Because, okay, logically what you're saying, I agree with Kamui, that's not how it plays out in reality. Boruto is universally hated, not only as a character, but as a series early on. And people
because
say,
he's so skilled.
And because people say that he's just like Naruto. People say that he's a Naruto clone. In the same way they say Shikadai is a Shikamaru clone. There's a little bit more credence there, but, like, they say, regardless, that he's
Shikadai is a Shikamaru clone.
Okay. Yeah. But with Boruto, regardless of the differences, regardless if they're wrong or not, people just think Boruto is a Naruto clone. In this case, they think Naruto's good, and they're like crapping on Boruto because it's bad. If you make Boruto like Naruto, Naruto's even good more like in their eyes. Exactly. And so they would say it's a clone, but would they now say it's good? Because they're already saying it's bad anyway.
Clone, no.
Exactly. Plus, I think this works because it's a clone, they, rather than saying it's a clone in a bad way, they'd be saying it's a clone in a good way, because they'd be able to compare it to Naruto. This is what Naruto would have been like if he had parents, which is really interesting. Maybe Naruto would have gone the same path of Boruto if Minato was alive, and Naruto during the Chunin exams wanted Minato's attention.
Yeah, especially since Minato would have been Hokage, actually.
Yeah, so you would have these be basically the same characters, both unskilled, just on two different paths because of their circumstances, and that's where you find the differences, which I also think ties into the heart of a shinobi theme, because it's a new era. So regardless if Boruto's just like Naruto, how does that change with the new era? Well, it doesn't, because the heart of a shinobi remains the same. I think it works.
So that actually does work. I'm going to ask another hypothetical, which is we make Boruto even more different from Naruto. In this case, Boruto's going to look, he's not going to look like Naruto, okay? Make him look like Hinata, okay? Yeah, so make him look more like Hinata in this case. And his personality is going to be less like Naruto. Make it debatably more like Hinata or just completely unique in this case, but don't make it so like Naruto, outgoing, bubbly, blah, blah, blah. Now, the rest will be the same. In either case, he can either be unskilled or skilled in this case. But we're going to make, so he's just not a Naruto clone. This, I guess you could say he's a Hinata clone, but he'll be different from Hinata too. But he's not a Naruto clone. Now in both scenarios, do you think this will work better or worse? So he can be skilled, unlike Naruto, or he can be unskilled like Naruto, but he's not a Naruto clone. Better or worse? Or just indifferent?
So I'm indifferent, but how it would come out, I still think is worse, because I don't think people hate on Boruto because it's Boruto. I think people hate on Boruto because it's a sequel to Naruto. And so either way, they would hate on it in this case.
I mean,
in my case,
you say that, but you say I know I haven't watched Dragon Ball, but do people hate on all the Dragon Ball sequels because they're sequels to Dragon Ball?
It's controversial.
To be fair, I think Goku and Vegeta are a lot more relevant in those sequels, probably. Yeah. So like, it may not really matter as much.
Yeah, exactly. But Jman, thoughts?
So sorry, Kamui. You were saying that if Boruto were to be like appearance-wise different from Naruto and of a different personality, you're saying that people would like Boruto more?
No, I'm just asking what you think you would think and what you think other people would think. I'm not saying what I think they would think.
I can't speak for other people. Like sometimes people just hate just to hate. Like maybe there's some truth in what Ood's saying, and that just because it is a sequel and that it's for a new generation of children, maybe people that just doesn't sit well with people. I don't really know. But me personally, yeah, I would much prefer Boruto to have an extremely unique personality compared to what he has right now. I mean, like Into Blue Vortex is a little different now, but let's just say Part 1 Boruto, it was pretty similar to Naruto in some cases. If he looked different, that'd be great in my opinion. Like, I don't know why he looks like a clone. Like that just like gives
so that he looks like Naruto. People will watch.
Yeah,
that's why.
You think? Yeah, well, that's unfortunate because even if Boruto looked different, like you can still push Naruto as being like a relevant character in the series. Like, isn't that what people are coming to watch Boruto for anyways in the first place? Like, I don't know if that necessarily matters to most people if Boruto looked different.
Yeah, I feel like it would be better. I mean,